The Eagle draft was pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say it was exceptional. It was pretty decent. Jill's scrambling, trying to find something to bitch about. Not even going to get to his Cliff Notes. Bro, always prepared, Junior. Oh, and by the way, we love it when other people, validate our comments. And we're going to do that again here in a minute. I'm just talking again at the open here, scrambling. One thing you'll never have to worry about, Marsh. In my 35 years plus broadcasting, scrambling is something that's not ever brought up, like your boy when he runs into walls and scrambling. Scrambling and broadcasting, for me, that ain't happening. We don't ever scramble, and nor have we ever scrambled in broadcasting. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys a lot. Okay? That's right. Hey, Maniac, what I really like all the time is that, you get people in here that make those kind of comments. No. You want to know scrambling? You go listen to those other places. That's scrambling. All right. Like button and super chats go to the top. We appreciate you, Marsh, doing that. I first and foremost want to start this bad puppy out with a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But what I do think is he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think fourth all-time in NFL history in tackles. Let me read you Lavonte David. The retiring Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker. Quote, Lavonte David, when playing the Eagles, we tried to make Jalen Hurts beat us. Eagles quarterback, and I'm reading from the article here. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts has a record of 57-25 in regular season games and 6-4 in playoff games. However, against the Bucs, Hurts is 2-4. Former Buccaneer linebacker Lavonte David appeared recently on The Arena, explained that the Buccaneers' approach to playing defense against the Eagles with Hurts at the helm. David said that focus stopping the run and forcing Hurts and the Eagles to beat them was in the passing game. Our whole game plan was to just give him the different looks, David said. It was one year when we beat him in the playoffs. We was playing cover 0, cover 1, and cover 0 made him want to beat us. And he had to try to beat us. We knew he couldn't do it. In 2003, the game prior to that, they had a great run game. They ran the ball all over us. So our game plan for the playoffs was just like, you're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us. He can't. You're going to keep him in the pocket, make him make his reads, and make him understand what defense he's seeing and stuff like that, and make him beat us. David reasoned that the Eagles didn't ask Hurts to do much in the passing game. Some may say Hurts is one who wanted to keep it simple. Still, the revolving door coordinators, everybody knows in the league, according to Lavonte David, one of the best linebackers in the recent generation, said that the Eagles' passing game is very limited and that the quarterback is very limited. I mean, now what you're getting is you're getting star players saying it. And I think that's valid criticism. And this is why you're changing. I mean, you now have players coming out and saying they're not very good in their passing game. And that the quarterback is not very good at reading defenses. This is all shit that we've been saying for 5 years. And now you have a player, by the way, he doesn't have great success against the Buccaneers because here's his numbers. Here's Jalen Hurts against the Bucs. Okay? And this is just in recent. And 10-14-21. He was 12-26 for 115 yards at 46% completion. On 12-26-23, he was 23 of 37 for 277, a touchdown and a pick, and 62% completion. In 9-29-24, he was 18 of 30 for 158 yards, a touchdown and 60% completion. And this past season, 9-28 or 9-28-25, he was 15 of 24 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 60% completion percentage. There's no question. The Buccaneers stymied the guy. I mean, when's the final mock draft? Also, I'm 90% sure 23 is a trench pick. We do that right the week of the draft, so another 2 weeks we got. Players, a single player. You also have Tom Brady, who praises the kid. I've also seen Tom Brady make a comment that Hurts has got to be better in the pocket. I heard it last year. Heard it. A single player? That's not a single player. I saw Christian McCaffrey, and I saw another guy go on television during the Manning cast and say the one thing that you can always count on with the Philadelphia Eagles is that their offense is predictable. I mean, it's not just one guy. One guy. Yeah, okay. Sil's call sign would be Big Sills. How you doing? Like, right, like Maverick. Okay, so sometimes teams have your number. That's cool. Goddamn, dude, let it go. I don't care for Hurts. Dude, the quarterback is the essential part of your offseason here. You think your offseason is based on your moves on what you're going to make personnel-wise. Your entire offseason is based on the coaching changes. That's a great question. What do you think is more of a conversation this offseason? The changes on the offense and the new offensive hirings? Or what dudes you're going to bring in? Me, the number one thing is the direction of the football team with the quarterback. That's the number one question. It's not whether you're going to sign one of these Timu signings. This is going to come down to what you're doing on offense. If you want a true evaluation of a player, ask one who's played against them and is retiring without trying to get into broadcasting. Rasputin, dead on. That's why that makes so much sense. Lavonte David has made all his money. He's not getting into broadcasting. He's already made that clear. He's going to hang around the Bucs. He's got nothing to lose in the fight now. He's not a player anymore. He's coming out saying, Hurts was the guy anytime you played the Eagles, you made Jalen try to beat you. Once that run game was great, they ran you over. Quarterback wasn't going to beat you. So what about what Gardner said about Hurts as an actual teammate? What was that? Michael, imagine Vic throwing darts out there to Smitty and AJ. Michael Vick would have been insane with those offensive personnel people. As a matter of fact, I think Carson Wentz would have performed well with all that talent. Hey, that's Carson Wentz with Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. How do you think Carson would have played? Carson played well with lesser players. Carson played better with lesser players. He would have played better. He would have played better. He had lesser players and he played better. Not worried about the offense. With Hurts, he's not worried about, get this, every single thing that the Eagles did so far this offseason, it counters what RC3 is saying here. I'm not worried about Hurts. Well, the coaching staff is. That's why they fired everybody. And they are worried about him at the helm. This is not factual. Okay, get this. He's went to the playoffs every year. See this, Xander? See how easy it is to lead people down the path? In his first 5 years, Joe Flacco did too. Joe Flacco, in his first 5 years, 54-26, 9-4 in the playoffs, with a Super Bowl win. Jalen Hurts, 56-22, 6-4 in the playoffs, with a Super Bowl win. Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco? Sure. I think they're the same. Then Joe Flacco went on to being a decent quarterback. Difference is Flacco's better because Flacco's got more skill. Flacco's got more skill than him because he's better in the pocket. That's why he's going to play until he's 40. Hurts will never play into his late 30s or mid-30s. It's not going to happen. You're just not. Hurts isn't going anywhere. Y'all wishing for his downfall. Nobody's wishing for a downfall. Are you kidding me? He's great to cover. I don't understand the character of the player the drama's about. That motherfucker's built for this. We're going to find out. Built for this? According to people in the building, he's uncoachable. Seals, two things are happening. Sirianni has to prove he can evolve the offense, and Hurst has to progress as a passer. Without one or the other, does not happen. I like that take, and you're right. That's right. Joe Flacco went to the playoffs his first 5 seasons starting. Flacco won a Super Bowl MVP, and Flacco's record's 9-4 in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts was 56-22. He's 6-4 in the playoffs. Albeit they've been to 2, the Eagles. At the end of the day here, Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco pretty compatible. Took the negative from a good player, a rival linebacker, but totally ignored and played Ray Charles to the positive from a good player. Let me see where the positive was. Let's see. Let's go down the line here. Here's the headline. Lavonte David, when playing the Eagles, we tried to make Jalen Hurts beat us. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, we went over that. Linebacker appeared on the arena. And David said they focused, stopping the run, forcing Hurts and the Eagles to beat them in the passing game. Let me look for some positives. Our whole game plan was just to give them different looks, David said. It was one year when we beat them in the playoffs. We were playing straight cover 0. Cover 1 and cover 0 made him want to beat us. In 2023, the game prior to that, they had a great run game. They ran the ball all over us. So our game plan for the playoffs, just like, we got to make Hurts beat us. We're gonna keep him in the pocket, make him make his reads, make him understand what defense he's seeing, and stuff like that to make him beat us. They reasoned that the Eagles didn't ask Hurts to do much in the passing game. Some may say Hurts is one of the ones who wanted to keep it simple. Still, the revolving door offensive coordinators has been a factor. Whatever the reason for the inability of the Eagles to take advantage of Tampa Bay's focus on stopping the run, the Eagles have struggled against the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers, as David has explained it, having prioritized neutralizing the run game during the Eagles and Hurts to beat them was how we wanted them to win. Tampa Bay surely isn't the only team to play the Eagles that way. Few have managed to win 66.6% of their games against Philly. I don't see anywhere in there as positive. 0. You made that up. I didn't see anywhere where Lavonte said anything like that. Players like Flacco don't play until they're 40 unless they can read a defense and set protections. Very true. That's why Jalen won't play late in his career. Sills, by the way, you're reading the highlight on the negative? No, I'm reading the entire article. That was the entire article. Lavonte David, when playing the Eagles, we tried to make Jalen Hurts beat us. I read the entire article to you. That was the entire article. There was nothing else in there. I'm not sure what you're looking for. For any quarterback, you don't know that. Oh my God. Really? Well, here, let me go over here. I'm sure WIP then posted that. Let's just put Lavonte David. Lavonte David. Jalen Hurts. I'll read it if he said something positive about him. I don't have a problem. Lavonte David's a great dude, man. Lavonte David on playing Jalen Hurts. Now they got a video. Hurts was never a guy we worried about. There was one year when we beat them in the playoffs and we played straight cover zero, cover one, cover zero, and made him want to beat us. Lavonte David. There's a video of it, him saying, on playing Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was never a guy we worried about. I can't play the audio, but it's right there. I'm listening to it. What are you making up now? This is why I love coming on here, Sills. Sills is that, yeah, they think that I'm like excluding something. Lavonte David is the 4th all-time leading tackler in pro football history and is going to be a candidate to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's a nobody. You don't have a linebacker in your entire career outside of Chuck Bednarik that's better than that guy on your franchise. Seth Joyner's nowhere near that guy. Like Lavonte David is probably next to Derek Brooks as a player in Bucs history. You don't even know who you're talking about. What do you mean for real? Yeah, he's got over 1,800 tackles in pro football history. You have no idea who you're talking about. Read what CJ said, jackass. No, I'll take out what an opponent said that played against him and is 2-4 against him. Fred Warner? I don't know. Maybe. Lavonte David? Like I said, a nobody. Well, then guess what? You've never had a linebacker in Eagle history that's anywhere near that player. I love when Sills calls other players trash. Why? Trash? I got more right than you do. Okay. I'm talking about you saying that he won't play until his 40s. Absolutely not. What dual threat quarterback plays into his 40s? Name me one. Name me one quarterback that played into his 40s or near 40 that was a dual threat guy. Name me one. You got a guy? Cunningham was not a dual threat guy. Watch this guy. This guy doesn't even know his own players. Here's Randall Cunningham. This is what he calls dual threat. So here's Randall Cunningham in his career. Early in his career, there's nobody that ran the ball better and threw the ball better. But once he got to year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once he got to year 6 and he played 16 years. For the next 10 years, 500 yards, 110, 288, 98, 127, 132, 58, 59, and 40. The reason Randall Cunningham could play longer is because Randall Cunningham was a superior passer. 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns. He was a great passer from the pocket, too. Randall was ahead of his time. True, early in his career, he ran the ball because he had to. But the other 10 years, he never ran the ball. And by the way, Steve Young, When he retired the all-time completion percentage guy in NFL history. He was more of a pocket passer because he was electric in the pocket. Okay? I just said that. First 6 years, he ran. After that, the last 10 years, he never ran. I'm going to quote Charles Barkley. You see a lot of young quarterbacks, not a lot of old ones. Correct. Dual threat doesn't mean you have to run. It just means you have the ability to. I'll take that. Okay? Yes. Ike sees him. What up? Reyes. Dumbest dude on the planet. So why would dancing around Gardner's I'm not dancing around Gardner's comments. How many teams has Gardner Johnson been on the last 4 teams? What's the last? We're not. Lavonte David's not a journeyman. Gardner Johnson's a journeyman. He's just a dude. You're making it sound like he's some star player. He's a dude. Lavonte David played 15 years in Tampa. Super Bowl captain. This guy's going to go to the Hall of Fame. Could you imagine Cunningham with this offense? He'd be electric. He'd be electric. Get this. Here. Let me go back here and give you guys a little history here. By the way, you have no linebacker outside of Bednarik. None. That's in the conversation. Let's see here. Outside of Bednarik, I'd say. So let's come down here. I'm trying to find that. They sent me something on Lavonte. And I don't know if I saved it. I think he's got more tackles than Ray Lewis. And I think he's got more sacks. And he's a Hall of Famer. David was right. We remember that game. Seth Joyner's nowhere in Lavonte David's league. Bergey's not in Lavonte David's league. Not happening. Not happening. All right. So again, okay? Again, I mean, they worried about Jalen beating them. CJ's not a dude. He helped us get to 2 Super Bowls. Come on, Sills. Then why did you not keep him? How many teams has he been on? Saints, Eagles twice, Texans, and the Bears. And where's he now? 6 teams in 4 years. That's not a dude? Here, let me take a look at that. Double check. To make sure. CJ Gardner. See how many teams he's been on. Let's see here. Okay. So 2021, he was on New Orleans. 2022, he's on Philly. 2023, he's on Detroit. 2024, he's on Philly again. 2025, he was on Chicago and Houston. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, he's been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. 6 if you count the Eagles twice. That's not a dude. That's not a dude. Oh, and the Lions, too. You're right. That's not a dude. 6 teams in 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Wait a second. Prince, What do you make of a player that's been on a team, 6 teams in 5 years? What do you make of that? Was he on the Bills too? I don't see the Bills. Oh, he's on the Bills now. So wait a minute. 2026, he's now with Buffalo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 teams in 6 years. What do you make of that? 7 teams in 6 years. What do you think? That's not a dude? That's not a dude. Hold on, Prince. Prince, a guy's been on 7 teams in 6 years. That's not a dude? And he's been cut numerous times? No, right? Fit your narrative. I'm talking about reality. Guy's been on a team 7 teams in 6 years. And you think that guy's a star player. Answer what question? Sure, whatever. What? What's the question? That's a great agent? What's the question? About a guy who's been on 7 teams in 6 years. What about it? Help me out here. I'm waiting for this question. I can't see a guy who's a dude. Okay? A guy. So you take C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What happened to those teams? What happened to those teams he joined? They were good football teams. Why have they cut him? If he's so good, why can't he find a home? I think he's a dude. I think he's a good player. He's a good player. He is. 7 teams in 6 years. I'm not going to debate a guy who's a journeyman. He's a dude. Hey, these guys are trying to compare Gardner Johnson to a guy who's 4th all-time in tackles in pro football history. Lavonte David, the captain of the defensive football team for the Bucs during that run, and is going to go to the Hall of Fame one day. You're comparing Gardner Johnson to him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to another topic here. Got some answers I'm looking for from you guys. Yeah, okay. Gardner Johnson is not ever going to have the career that Lavonte David did. That's not happening. I'm not trolling anybody. Dude, what are you talking about? 7 teams in 6 years is a dude. Never seen a dude get this much smear and doesn't even talk. I'm not sure what you're talking. Let's see here. CJ also has a history speaking out emotionally. David doesn't have the baggage. When you're great, you don't have to speak. You let your football do the talking, you know? A couple weeks ago when the Bills signed him, you said, you know what happened when Gardner Johnson joins a team? Now he's just a dude. I don't care what you say. He's a good football player, Prince. 7 teams in 6 years makes you a dude. Especially when the team doesn't want to re-sign you. Why don't these teams want to re-sign him? Nobody. Including the Eagles. I answered yours. Answer this one now. Hey, get this. These guys don't want to face reality. Folks, any player that's been on 7 teams in 6 years is a dude. Those organizations move on from them. There's no receipts. He's a good player that no one wants to keep. Those are facts. Well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. They got just as many Super Bowl wins as you. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they got just as many appearances as you. And they got a better record than you against you in the Sirianni era. So don't say you're a better franchise than them. Ain't nothing wrong with switching teams. It's better than sitting the bench. Ain't that right, Sills? Hey, Marsh, you're right. I mean, Gardner Johnson's a legendary player, playing now on his 7th team in 6 years. Okay. So wait a minute. He's not a dude. CJ has character issues. Okay. That's why nobody wants him. Okay. You talk about people moving the goalpost. Look at people moving the goalpost on a guy that no one wants. Or no one wants to keep. Here we go with the clowns in this chat that get butthurt to hear the truth that Sills is saying. Again, I am a realist, not a fake-ass Jalenite Eagle fan. Deppel, they're going to take a guy who's been bounced around the league like a basketball, in his word, over a guy who's going to be considered for Canton. Every person I've talked to, and we'll get them on again, every one of them, Jason Cole, Armando Salguero, Jared Bell, also said, all of them, that he may not be a first ballot Lavonte David, but he's going to Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't have the vote. They do. Okay. Hey, great comeback, Brian. Yeah, I know. Right? More like a 20. Hey. Didn't Randy Moss bounce around? Let's see. How many teams? Vikings, Patriots, Raiders. Let's see. And back to the Vikings.